And speaking of being in the clouds and being high, what do we think Mercedes Moné go when she's cleared to compete in 2024? Because remember, because she put out a cameo recently, I think last week or weekend or whatever, and basically confirmed that she's going to return to the ring in 2024. Like, what do you think? Do you think she go to AEW? Do you think she go back to New Japan? Do you think she try again in the E as Sasha Banks, or keep the Mercedes Moné name in WWE this time? Like, what do you think? What do you think?
I think she has to go to AEW because they kind of teased her being at All In and stuff like that. And it's
she was in the crowd, wasn't she?
Right, and then you got the second All In coming up, and like I'm gonna be as blunt as I can be. Like they need that figurehead in the women's division at AEW. You know, Toni Storm. I mean, don't get me wrong, Toni Storm is doing amazing, but it's like I think she would add a lot of star power. So if I were her, I would bet on myself and go to AEW and try to bring it up
and hopefully bring the company up. And hopefully he doesn't fuck it up.
Right, and then look, hey, I've been very scorned on AEW recently. It's kind of like I got my two kids, WWE and AEW, and it's like I see my one successful in college, and I see my one just sitting in the basement, just drinking all day, and I'm like, yo, you're supposed to be smarter than the other one.
All right, Hi-Lite, what you think about? What you think she's gonna do?
I mean, again,
on the production, or you think she's gonna try something else?
It makes sense. I mean, again, going back to the TNA. I mean, hold on, sorry. See, that's what I got on the brain was TNA because in my mind, since they're going through this TNA rebranding situation, your homegirls already over there.
You think they're gonna try? TNA gonna try to lock it down?
I wouldn't mind it because I wouldn't mind seeing it. Like, think about it with the whole situation that caused them to leave in the first place. How ironic would it be for her to show up in TNA, wrestle her best friend for that very championship, and as a slap to the face of like, yeah, this is how you would do that. You don't just randomly do it when we're tag team champions in a sense. I don't know, but it's like, TNA has, one of the best women's divisions, right there on par with like how NXT's women's division's coming up, and I guess we can say SmackDown's women's division the way it's lined up now at this point. Hopefully Raw catches up to that, but I mean, kind of agreeing though. I mean, it just makes sense for her to be in AEW because then it just looks like, well, what was the point of spotlighting her like she was basically going to be there? But on a selfish reason, I wouldn't mind her being in TNA because it just spotlights TNA that much.
Or at least, even if she do go to AEW, she can at least do that one-off appearance because I don't think Tony has beef with TNA, so I wouldn't be surprised if he allow, like, if he does snag Mercedes and he lets her go do a program with Trinity, that'll be fun. Like that's and I think that's the plus side because WWE is more exclusive, whereas AEW they let you wonder if like there's a fair trade. Because if I'm Tony, I'm gonna stop dragging my feet with the women's division. And if Mercedes want to go to work with Trinity, you can get a trade of Deonna Purrazzo, Jordan Grace, Tasha Steele. Like it's so many people there that is good. Giselle Shaw. Like it's so many people there that are good that can carry a program if you actually give a fuck about your women's division.
Can I give a hot take though? Can I give a hot take?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think AEW's biggest problem, I've said this before, is with the influx of ROH and stuff. I actually think it is a problem that they're so accessible because they've become just another, I don't want to say indie, but just like another three letters where, you have the chance for them to go to like New Japan, you have TNA, you have AEW. But if she was just strictly in AEW and only was in AEW for at least a year and maybe stop by as in New Japan, I think that would bring the value of AEW up. But it's like you have a situation where it's almost like I don't want to compare it to the brand split, but you know how people complain about the brand split? It's almost like if you can see this person in AEW, then they could go to TNA and New Japan. It's just like, okay, I'll go to whatever show is like around. I don't care about AEW. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like if it's supposed to be the number two, I shouldn't even say number two, but if it's supposed to be one of the big two, then I feel like there needs to be some exclusivity with someone like a Mercedes Moné because the name value's up there.
That's true.
No,
What butts are you putting in the seats? What you know? What I mean, we just talked about CM Punk, a little bit, and just the fact of you see what that experiment did do. Egos aside, as far as just the eyes factor, the ratings factor. So say what you will, man. Her fans are loyal, man. They will follow her wherever.
They are, and that's what I'm getting at. Is like she can bring in some eyes, and I'm a hot take, but I view wrestling as a business. It's called a wrestling business. Okay, you can have the best roster in the world, right? So you could bring in Mercedes Moné. They just brought in Adam Copeland, but it's like you got the best roster in the world, but if you're not doing anything with it, it doesn't mean anything. So what I'm trying to get at is like, I think you've done as much as you can do for the indie crowd. Okay, the diehards. I would consider the three of us in here diehards. Okay,
yeah,
we're already watching. Okay, it's the people who are not watching that you got to bring them in. That's the only way that you can get ratings, because ratings stay consistent because only the same three people that are on this podcast are watching. You see what I'm saying? But you got to bring in number 4, who like kind of likes wrestling but only knows WWE, but maybe doesn't know this other. You gotta appeal to them to create new fans, and I think that's what AEW stopped doing.
And if it's just matches after matches after matches with a select few interesting stories, ain't nobody gonna care.
But and you have ROH's library, do some video packages, dude. It's like,
this is true. That's true. And I will say this to add to what you're saying about more of a campaign of if she goes there, AEW, you cannot drop this ball with Mercedes the way you did with Jade. The way she crosses over in a mainstream appeal,
she's in the Mandalorian, brother.
Like, seriously, you cannot mess that up, bro. You can't. Like, you got to go all in with her if that's the case. I mean,
I see what you did.
You see? I'm just saying, man. Like, hey, don't mess this up, Tony Khan.
You do not have many more chances because there are not a lot of people that you can bring in to bring eyes to AEW. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So to me, it's like, who are you gonna bring in? Goldberg? Goldberg's 50-something years old. You get what I'm saying? Like someone to bring us. But Adam Copeland coming, he's 50 years old right now. Mercedes Moné is young. She's still in her prime, and she's got a good following. How many more of those you got? If you show that you can treat her right, now you got a chance at some other people when their contracts come up, and that's a big thing to me because I know the 2024 thing and MJF and all that, but it's like, but if it did right, to me that'd be like such a death blow to AEW.
It'll be one of the death blows for sure because he's one of their most over baby faces right now. So it's up to you, Tony Khan. It's up to you, honestly. Like, you just gotta, the ball's in your court. Make it appealing, make it make sense, and whatever she doing in 2024, my goofy ass is going to be seated. Like, wherever Mercedes go, I'll go. Like, she's one of my top female wrestlers in the world. So there's that.
I got a video she sent me on my phone. I'm gonna post it tonight.
All right, bet.
Come on.
The club go around here, I'm the cactus. Bang, bang, gang, I don't owe you jack. When I'm in the ring, it's just me and my best friends. OC cutting no slack. Hollywood Miz, you can put me on the A-list. Gresh Unleashed, better put it on your playlist. Me and my fam be ballin' like the Bruce. Fight night, baby, hard hitting like Sheamus. Family first, yes, bloodline business. Winning all the gold, look at how they winning.